let's say minus 9y. These are okay. So I'll just skip to where you were before. Oh, hold that phone. So you did expand in double brackets, okay. Aha, so we didn't do factorising. So we'll just remind ourselves then, where are these double brackets? So this page. Okay, do you remember how you do the top one?
The top one. Yes.
Okay.
Do you have to times the y's and times the two y's and times the two numbers and times the other two?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you do y times 5, which is 5y. And then, actually, I think I should probably do it the other way around.
Okay, and so the way you do it is first 2, outside 2, inside 2, last 2 is the usual order. Doesn't really matter what order, but
okay. First, so y and y is 2y.
Y times y?
1y squared.
Yeah.
Then it is. Then do you do y times 5, which is 5y.
Yeah.
And then you do 2 times y, which is 2y. And then you do 2 times 5, which is 10.
And simplify the middle.
Seven y squared.
Just 7y.
Okay.
Multiplying would make it squared. Yes. Okay, so this question. So look at the start question. Look at the final answer. Where did the 10 come from?
From 2 and 5.
How do you combine 2 and 5 to get 10?
Times.
Yep.
Or more.
Where did the 7 come from?
7 came from 2y and 5y.
Yeah. How do you combine 2 and 5 to get 7?
You add.
Yes. And so if you ever have, so all quadratics can be written in the form ax squared plus bx plus c. In our case, we had 1y squared plus 7y plus 10. So our a is 1, b is 7, c is 10. And you can put it into, back into its original bracket. In general, you need two numbers that multiply to make the c and add together to make the b. And those two numbers will go at the ends of the brackets. And then we'll just start simple and start with like x and x. So the two numbers, they have to multiply to make the last number, add to make the middle number. Those two numbers go there and there. And that's how you put it, an expanded one back into brackets.
Okay.
So in our case, we'd say 2 times 5 makes 10 and 2 plus 5 makes 7. And so it's y plus 2 and y plus 5, which is what the question was originally. So now we're going to do that. I'll come back to these in a second. Okay, so you have to do the first one. How would you do this top one?
Factorize. So so do you have to do I don't remember.
So you need two numbers. They multiply to make 4, and they add to make 5. And so it's lots of numbers will add to make 5, and so you start by seeing what will multiply to make 4. So that the factors of 4.
Oh, okay. So that's the multiply to get 4.
Yeah. So what two numbers will multiply to make 4?
1 and 4.
Any others?
2 and 2.
Yeah. And so which pair will add to make 5?
1 and 4.
Yeah. And so what were the two brackets for this one?
You was the first bracket for the add, and then
So it's all, so in this case we have x squared at the start. So x times x makes x squared. So it's going to be x plus something, x plus something.
oh, okay. So x plus 1, then x plus 4.
Yep. And if you were to expand those brackets out, you would get x squared. You would get 1 times 4 makes 4. And you'd get 4x and 1x, so 5x in the middle. And so you know it's correct. Okay, let's try the next one. This time you have a minus. The e squared one.
Okay.
And we'll just treat it as a plus to begin with and figure out the minus at the end. So we need two numbers. So this in the middle is 1a. So we need two numbers. They multiply to make 12, and then they have a difference of 1.
Okay. So it has to be minus then, doesn't it?
So one of them might be minus, one number might be minus.
Okay. So maybe use that times to 12. Minus 4, no. 3 and minus 4?
So 4 times 3 makes 12. Okay, so what would you have to do to make it, combine them to make 1? Minus 4 plus 3 would make minus 1. We want plus 1.
So minus 3 minus 3 plus 4.
That's it. And so what is the bracket for the second one? What are the brackets?
The brackets, it will be e plus 4, and then e minus 3.
That's brilliant. Okay, next one.
Okay. So it needs to get to, so it needs to times to 10 and then add to 3.
Yep.
Okay. Times the minus 10.
And you can just treat it as like what multiplies to make plus 10 and just figure out the sign at the end.
Okay. So you can do 2 and 5.
Okay.
But you have to take it away to make 3.
Okay.
Actually, I think that might work if you do minus. Yeah, if you do minus 2 plus 5.
Yep. So what is the bracket?
X minus 2 and x plus 5.
Well done. So these next three are very similar to the one you just did, and you did it without my help. So let's try just the very last one, which is a bit different.
Okay. So it needs 2 times to get 16. Add to 10.
Yeah, minus 10.
Minus 10. Okay. What times to make 16? 4 and 4.
Yeah, 4 and 4.
That won't work. 1 and 16. Doesn't work. 8 and 2. Yes, that will work. So, if you do minus 8 and minus 2.
Well done.
So, it will be y minus 8 and y minus 2.
Great. So that one had two minuses. So they add to make a minus, multiply to make a plus. Because plus times plus makes minus. Any questions about those?
Nope.
Oops. Okay. Higher grade questions. I think you're going to be good for higher grade. I do. These are the higher grade questions. But let's do something else first. Okay, how would you... how would you do this? So this top question, any idea how you simplify that?
No, I don't.
Factorize the top one, factorize the bottom one.
Oh, okay. So, times to 15 adds to 2. Okay, so what times to make 15? I'll go minus 3 and 5. Yeah, that'll work.
Okay.
So if you do positive, if it's positive 3 and negative 5, yeah. That would. Okay, so 3 minus 5. 3 minus. That would work. So if you do minus 3.
Yeah, you got it right first time.
Oh.
3 minus 5 makes minus 2. So what are the brackets on the top?
The brackets will be x plus 3 and x minus 5.
Yeah, because that multiplies to make minus 15, that's to make minus 2. Okay, now do the bottom one.
Okay, so I need to times to 21 and that's to minus 21 and minus 1. Okay. What times to 21?
And like what you were doing with your previous one, here, oh, it's miles away. You kind of did 4 times 4, 1 times 16, 8 times 2. You can just start from like 1, 2, 3, something like that, and then just so you can follow a system.
Okay. 3 and 7.
Okay.
If you do minus 7, then I think that should work. Oh wait, let me write down. Yeah. So then the brackets will be x plus 3
Mm-hmm.
and x minus 7.
Yeah. Anything you notice about the top and bottom brackets?
No, one of them is the same and then one of them is different.
And so, what is x plus 3 divided by x plus 3?
0.
1. Because we don't know what number x is, but we know whatever it is, it's going to be the same. And so any number divided by itself is 1. What is 1 times x minus 5?
1 times x minus 5. That's just x minus 5.
What is 1 times x minus 7?
X minus 7.
Yeah, and so that is how you simplify quadratic fractions. Fully factorize the top, fully factorize the bottom, and then you'd cancel out the common fraction, the fraction that's on the top and the bottom. And what was I going to say? Yeah, I knew. So they said simplify fully. So that means it must be, you must be able to simplify it. Otherwise, I wouldn't tell you to simplify it. On the top, we had x plus 3, x minus 5. I knew on the bottom we'd have one bracket was either x plus 3 or x minus 5. And so you can sometimes use that to help. Any questions with that one?
No.
So let's just see something. So that's the harder ones. This is the solving thing. Do we do solving? Yeah, let's do solving. Okay. Let's do this one. Top left. Factorize one.
Okay. Okay, so it needs to times the 27.
Yep.
And add to minus 12.
Yep.
Okay. So 27 divided 27 times 1 is 27. Two, and then 3, 3 and 9. Yeah, 3 and 9.
Okay. And so now you can figure out the minuses.
And the minus should be on 9.
Okay.
Oh no, on 3.
Like that?
It would take us I think ways actually?
On both.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
When I was doing it on my paper, I don't know. Okay, so both minus. So then it will be x minus 3 and x minus 9.
X minus 9. That's it. Solve this equation for part 2. Do you notice anything about part 1 and part 2?
Part 2 has a 0 and part 1 doesn't.
Yeah, and so everything else is the same except for that. And so another way of writing the first part is x minus 3, x minus 9. Can you think of two numbers that multiply to make 0?
0 and 1.
Yeah. Another pair?
0 and 2.
One more pair?
0 and 4.
And so all three of these have a 0 in them. Is it possible to multiply two numbers together and get 0 where one of the two numbers is not 0? Or does at least one of the numbers have to be 0?
I think at least one of them has to be 0.
Correct. So when you have two brackets next to each other, that's just short for times. And we're trying to figure out what number x is. So either x minus 3 must be 0 or x minus 9 must be 0. So one of these two must be 0. And so if what number would x have to be, or solve the first equation? X minus 0.
X would have to be 0.
That would make minus 3. We need to make 0. So what number would x have to be for the first bracket to be 0?
0x?
That would make minus 3. Just solve this equation.
Just solve. No, 3x.
What number is x?
X is 1.
1 minus 3 is minus 2. We need it to make 0.
1 minus 1.
What minus 3 makes 0?
3.
Yes. So if you bring it to the other side, x is 3. Or for the other one?
9.
Yes. And so the way you solve a quadratic equation, one way to do it is you can factorize it and say either the first bracket must be 0 or the second bracket must be 0. We don't know which, but one of them must be 0. Because any two numbers multiplied together making 0, at least one of them has to be 0. Okay, so same thing for the top one.
Okay. So first you have to solve it properly and then change it, right?
So first factorize it into its original two brackets.
Okay, so it will be x minus x minus 3 and x plus 5.
Well done. And so that's equal to 0. And solve.
Then x will have to be 3.
Or?
And x will have to be. But if it's adding, how can you?
So x could be a negative number then.
Oh, okay. So x will be minus 5.
Well done. And let's try the bottom left one.
Okay. So we broke it down into x minus 5 and x plus 7.
Yeah.
And that equals 0.
Mm-hmm.
And then you will have to do x will become 5 and x will become minus 7.
That's it. X must be 5 or minus 7 because sometimes something makes 0. And you could actually check your answers, I suppose. So we said x could be 5. So we could put in 5 squared plus 2 times 5 minus 35. So instead of x, we put in 5. If x is 5, what answer should we get?
If x is 5, you should get 0.
And we get 0. Yep. And so we know that our 5 answer is correct. And I'm sure all our other answers are correct too. And those are 3 markers. Any questions there?
Nope.
This is very good. Okay, let's try this one.
There are n suites in the back. Solve n squared minus n minus 90 equals 0 to find the value of n. Okay. So it needs to times to 90 and then add to minus 1.
Yeah.
Okay. So 4 times the 90. 1 and 90. 2 and 45. 3 and 30. 4 and
I believe it's 15. No, it's not 15. 25? No. Does 4 go in? No, 4 doesn't go in.
Yeah, it doesn't go in. 90 and 5, 18. 90 and 6. 90 and 6 is 15 minus 0. Okay. I mean minus 1. What? Gosh. 7 and don't think that goes in.
Mm-hmm.
8 I don't think that goes in either. 9 and 10. Yeah, 9 and 10.
Okay.
So it'll have to be minus 9 and minus 10.
That would make minus 19.
So minus 9 and positive 10.
And what is minus 9 plus 10?
Minus 9 plus 10. That is 1. So if you do negative 10 and positive 9.
That's it. I'll make minus 1.
And then, yeah, so that should be it. Then it will be n plus 9 and n minus 10, and both of those equal 0. And then n will become 9. I mean, no, minus 9. And n will become 10.
And so there are n sweets in a bag. How many sweets are in the bag?
10.
Well done. 10 sweets. We have to reject the negative answer. That would be like pure maths. 10 sweets. Yeah, because it can only be positive number.
Yeah.
And there we go. 10. 3 marker. Tricky number. Any questions there?
No.
That's good. So that's the type of thing where you'd mess around with it for a long time. Whereas if you follow some kind of a system, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The only thing after that would be 10, and that would go loop back around, like 10, 9, 15, 6. You know, it'd start looping back around. Okay. Any idea how you solved the first one?
Okay. So he times the 2 and also add 2.
That's only true if it's equal to 0. And so how do you make this equal to 0?
I do not know.
You would have to subtract 1 from the right side, and to keep both sides equal, subtract 1 from the left side too.
Oh, okay.
So
then it will be minus 1 and minus 1.
Minus 2 minus 1. It should get more negative.
Minus 2 minus 1. Okay. I do not understand.
What's minus 2 minus 1?
Minus 2 minus 1. Okay. That is minus 3.
Yes. And so what do you now have on the left side?
On the left side, minus 3.
Yep. What else?
Minus 3, minus 2.
You've also got minus 2x. What else?
X squared.
Yes. And so now you've made it equal to 0. So now you can solve it.
I made it equal to 0. Okay. So then times minus 3 adds to minus 2. Times minus 3 add to minus 2. Okay. So what times to make a minus 3? Okay, let's think what times make 3. 1 and 3, and then That's it.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. So if it's -1, -3.
What is -1 minus 3?
-1 -3. Oh no, that gets you -4. So
Mm-hmm.
you have to do both of them minus. Oh no.
That's what you just tried.
Hmm.
1 and 3, you need to make -2.
Oh, do you just stay with normal 1 and 3?
That'll make +4.
1 minus 3.
Yep, 1 minus 3.
And that also. And then times. Okay. So now you have to make it 0. So you do x plus 1
Mm-hmm.
and x plus 3. Oh, do minus.
-3. Plus
Yep.
3 would make +4. We needed to make -3. Okay, and solve.
Okay, so to make it 0, x will have to be 1, -1. And x will have to be 3.
Well done. And so to solve a quadratic using factorising, it must first be equal to 0. So let's try the next one.
Okay. What? I did not understand.
So what would you have to do to make it equal to 0?
To make it equal to 0, do you divide it by x plus 3?
You would subtract x and subtract 3.
Oh, okay.
So, and to keep it equal, you'd have to do that to both sides. And so you now have equal 0 on the right side. What would you now have on the left side after doing -x minus 3?
Minus x minus 3. Then would you have, you have to take away x and 3. So, positive, wait, 1x?
That would be plus x. It should get more negative.
Okay. So 5x minus 5x.
So minus 2x minus 1x. It's like -2 minus 1.
Oh, okay. Not here, minus 1. So then it will be.
So what is -2 minus 1?
Low.
-2 minus 1?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Oh, sorry. You can hear me. -2, -1. That is -3.
Yeah. So that's like -3x. How about the number? -1, -3.
-1, -3. -4.
Yeah. And what else do we have at the start?
X squared.
Yes. And so you've subtracted x plus 3 from both sides. And so now you'd solve this one because it's equal to 0.
Okay. So it needs to multiply to 4 and add up to 3. So multiply to 4. So 1 and 4. 2 and 2. And that's it.
Okay.
So 1 and 4 has to work.
Okay.
So if you do
So we need to make -3.
you do 1 minus 4.
Yep.
So then x plus 1 and x minus 4.
Yep.
So then x will become -1, or and it will become x. X will become 4.
That's it. Well done. And so, yeah, if it's not equal to 0, first make it equal to 0 and then solve it. Any questions there?
Nope.
Okay. So these are done. That's the harder type. Yeah, approximately. That's using the formula. There's one type we didn't do that I want to get to. These ones. So this is kind of a special type. For this, another way to write this, that is the same as x squared plus 0x minus 16. And so, what would that factorize to? How would you do that?
That will factorize to, so it's, you need to multiply to get 16 and then add to get 0.
Yep. So how can you do that?
Multiply. 6. So there's 1 and 16, then 2 and 8, and then 3, 4 and 4. Yes. 4 and 4.
Okay.
So it will have to be
So you're trying to make 0.
yeah, so 4 plus 4 equals 0. Yeah.
4 plus 4 is 8.
4 times 4 equals 0. But then you need to
4 times 4 is 16.
minus, sorry.
Yes.
And then it should be minus 4. Actually, no.
And so what are the brackets?
The brackets, it should be x plus 4 and x minus 4.
Yes. And so for this type, you can see how it's just the two brackets will be the same first two things, same number twice as well, except one bracket is plus, one is minus. And so it's like square root first, square root second. And so what would be the next one? Would you be able to do it in your head?
Okay, so what you'll be factorizing will be you need to times the 16 and get to 0 again.
Yep.
So it's just the same thing. So
And so it has to be, to add to make 0, it has to be the same number twice, where 1 is plus and 1 is minus.
okay, so you do 4 minus 4.
Yeah. And what's the letter?
Y.
That's it. Okay, next one.
The next one, 49. So 49. 49 divided. No,
So
49.
square rooted, because it has to be same number.
Okay. So square root of.
So square root of 49?
7.
Yep.
So x plus 7, x minus 7.
Well done. Next one.
It should be e plus 10 and e minus 10.
Well done. And last one.
Y plus 10 and y minus 10.
That's it. And try this top right one.
This top right one, that should.
Yeah.
That will be.
CJ's doing his list.
3. Wait a minute.
So it'll be 3 for the 9.
Yeah. So it will be x plus 3. Or 4x plus 3.
So it has to be what times what makes 4. 4x squared overall.
What time is 1 makes 4x? So 4x and x?
It has to be the same thing times itself, though.
Oh, so 2x?
Yes, 2x and 2x, so that you end up with 0 in the middle. Well done. Any questions about those?
No.
Okay. Let us see. So let me go to my test. Test your best. I think I have one at the end. Let's just get this thing. There we go. So there was all this stuff. Test. That's a different thing. Yeah. So what is the middle one?
Middle one. So it'll be x plus 4 and x minus 4.
How about, let me just see something. Let's see. How about, just want to see if I have one. Okay. How about this one? Next one.
Okay, so times the 4. I need to add to 5. So it'll be 1. It'll be 1 and 4. So it'll be x plus. I think it's plus. And then minus 4. X minus 4.
Would that make plus 5 overall?
No, plus 4.
And what if this had said it was equal to 0? What would x be then?
It would be x would be if it was equal to 0. X would be minus 1.
Yeah. Or
minus 1. I mean it's 4. Minus 4.
well done. And so, what would you give yourself overall for solving the factorising?
I think I did pretty good. So tick.
Well done. Yeah, how was that for you, Carlos?
It was good.
So, tricky stuff, but it's good. Hopefully that calculator will arrive and then we can do calculator stuff. Anything in particular you want to do next time, or should I pick?
No, you can pick.
Any questions for me in general?
No.
Alright, well done, Carlos. You did great. I look forward to trying again next week.
Me too.
Alright, have a good week. Goodbye.
Bye.